teen mom Jenelle Evans has been reunited with her son Jace at her house in Las Vegas, some weeks after he was removed from the property after being taken away. According to a source who spoke exclusively to the United States Sun, Jace, who is 15 years old, returned to the rental house that his mother owns earlier this week following an incident that occurred on October 20. The insider explained that he has been keeping a low profile ever since he returned home, and that he has not yet returned to school. The source stated that Jace is unaware of what is going to take place next, and the young man claimed that Jenelle, who is 32 years old, has not provided an explanation about the general strategy for his subsequent action. In an interview with the United States Sun, August Keene, who was once Jenelle's manager but is now her boyfriend, said that Jace is now back at home. He also stated that the Teen Mom 2 actress will not be talking further at this time. Following a terrifying phone call that Jenelle made to 911 regarding the adolescent, Jace was taken away from the residence. This information was initially revealed by the Ashley's Reality Roundup. Additionally, the United States Sun possesses other information concerning his removal. However, in order to preserve the privacy of the kids concerned, the details will not be included. Fight that is terrifying. During the call that Jenelle made to 911 on October 20, she informed the dispatcher that the teenager had started smashing things in their rental property in Las Vegas. It was the previous evening that Jenelle had called 911 to report that Jace had fled, only to return later that same evening. When Jenelle called 911, she told the operator, "I told my two younger kids to stay away from Jace." And then she went on to say that Jace reportedly smashed his door, my door, and a closet door. Jenelle continued by saying, "Now everything in my house is, like, smashed, and it keeps happening, and the cops said they wouldn't help yesterday. While the police were on the phone with him, they inquired as to whether or not he have access to firearms." Jenelle said, "No, he does not." For the reason that Jace had fled out of the front door when Jenelle contacted 911, the dispatcher inquired as to whether or not he was still destroying stuff. Jenelle stated that he was not. She asked Jace if he was hungry that morning since she was ordering dinner, and the next thing she knew, he was destroying stuff in the house. The star of Teen Mom 2 informed the dispatcher that she had asked him if he was hungry. In addition, she shared her belief that the adolescent consumes alcohol behind her back. Jenelle responded to the dispatcher's inquiry concerning drugs by stating, "He smokes weed, and that's why he got mad at me yesterday." Thereafter, she stated that she had confiscated his pocket knife, which was the reason why he had become angry the day before. After the 911 call, the dispatcher called back and inquired as to whether or not she had been drinking or doing drugs. She denied either of those things. As was earlier reported by the United States Sun, a source asserted that the Child Protective Services (CPS) is once again involved in her household, albeit this time in Las Vegas, where she has only been living for a few months. After sending her middle child, Kaiser, who is 10 years old, to live with his grandmother Doris, Jenelle made a quick about-face about his care, taking him back to Sin City after only 3 weeks and 3 days of attending a new school. This drama comes on the heels of Jenelle's decision to send her child to live with his grandmother, a family that is in peril. Nathan Griffith, Jenelle's ex-boyfriend and Kaiser's father, discussed his mother's emotional state in an interview with the United States Sun. He revealed that his mother was upset when the Teen Mom star abruptly took her grandson away from school on a Friday in Tennessee. Jenelle had picked up Kaiser on a Friday, which was only his third day at the school, and she had informed the administrators that he needed to go to the hospital before she brought him back to Vegas, according to Nathan. Jake was only in his third day at the school. "My mother was sobbing her eyes out and she was just like, I'm so heartbroken. The school phoned her the precise second that it happened, and she was crying her eyes out. 'Mom, I'm sorry, I wish I could do something,' I said to her. But in all honesty, you can't. You want to do everything that you possibly can." Nathan stated that he had communicated to his mother that, unless you have solid evidence or proof of this person doing something, there is nothing that it is possible for them to do. In a previous statement, he accused Jenelle of neglecting their son and referred to the reality star as a monster for allegedly allowing their son to be harmed by her husband, David Eason, who is now divorced from her. According to Nathan, he told his mother that all they need to do is try our best with a cool, level head, and that Kaiser will find his way. The allegations of abuse. Jenelle was accused of enabling their son to be abused by her soon-to-be ex-husband, according to accusations made by Kaiser's father. He asserted to the United States Sun that David Eason had repeatedly beaten the living crap out of Kaiser. He said this on multiple occasions. Nathan, who is well known to fans for his appearances on Teen Mom 2 alongside Jenelle, also made the astonishing accusation that David punched Kaiser in the face several times. An incident that occurred at the residence of a neighbor in North Carolina last fall has resulted in the husband of Jenelle, who is now estranged from her, being charged with felony assault by strangulation. Although Jenelle and August did not refute all of the allegations of violence that were made against her husband, who is now divorced, she did refute the notion that she ever witnessed any of the assault with her own eyes. In the meantime, Jenelle is also fighting her ex-boyfriend in court in North Carolina for full custody of their daughter Ensley, for whom they share custody. Back home, teen mom Jenelle Evans reunites with teen son Jace at Vegas home weeks after he was removed, following scary 911 call. In the world of reality television, the lives of its stars often play out like soap operas, filled with drama, emotion, and unpredictability. One of the most widely recognized names from the Teen Mom franchise is Jenelle Evans, who, despite numerous controversies and ups and downs in her personal life, remains a prominent figure in the public eye. Jenelle's journey has been a turbulent one, marked by the complexities of raising children at a young age, navigating relationships, and enduring media scrutiny. However, one of the most challenging chapters in her life has been her relationship with her eldest son, Jace. Recently, Jenelle and Jace's bond has been tested in an unimaginable way, as a tense situation unfolded that led to Jace being removed from her home and taken into protective custody. This dramatic turn of events began after a disturbing 911 call, which set off alarms about the safety and well-being of Jenelle's children. The incident was a wake-up call, not just for Jenelle, but for her followers and for her critics, who have long scrutinized her parenting skills and the tumultuous dynamics within her family. But after weeks of uncertainty, Jenelle and Jace have now been reunited in Las Vegas, marking a significant and emotional milestone in their relationship. This reunion between mother and son holds not just personal significance for Jenelle, but also for her public persona, offering a moment of reprieve after a series of intense, highly publicized events. As the mother of multiple children, Jenelle's life has always been under the microscope, and this latest chapter in her journey is no different. From the public fallout following the 911 call to the heartwarming images of their reunion, Jenelle's life continues to unfold in front of an audience that is both compassionate and critical. The 911 call that shook Jenelle's world. The events leading up to Jace's temporary removal from Jenelle's home were set into motion by a 911 call that would ignite a chain reaction. On the day of the call, there were reports of a domestic situation involving Jenelle's husband, David Eason. The details of the incident were unsettling, prompting authorities to step in and take immediate action. The call itself was chilling, an indication that there was a real concern for the safety of the children in the home. While the specifics of the call remain private, it was enough to raise alarms. The local authorities responded swiftly, and in the days that followed, Jenelle's son Jace was placed in protective custody. For Jenelle, the ordeal was a nightmare. Her son, the one she had worked so hard to raise, was taken from her, and the media scrutiny was overwhelming. In the aftermath of the incident, Jenelle faced public backlash, with many questioning her judgment as a mother, particularly in regard to her relationship with David Eason. Critics of Jenelle have long pointed to the troubled dynamics in her marriage to David, which have been marked by volatile moments and public controversies. The fallout from the 911 call was no exception, and Jenelle found herself defending her actions in the court of public opinion. But amid the storm, there was one constant: her desire to protect and be with her children. While Jace was temporarily removed from her custody, Jenelle made it clear that she would do whatever it took to regain custody and reunite with her son. Her supporters rallied behind her, while her critics were quick to condemn her. But through it all, Jenelle remained determined to prove that she was capable of being the mother her children needed. Jenelle's efforts to reunite with Jace. After Jace was removed from the home, Jenelle took immediate steps to rectify the situation. In the days that followed, she worked closely with child welfare services and the legal system to regain custody of her son. Jenelle's determination to bring Jace back home was evident as she attended court hearings, participated in counseling, and made various changes in her life to demonstrate that she was willing to do the work necessary to ensure a stable environment for her children. The emotional toll on Jenelle during this period was palpable. The reality star, who has long been open about the challenges of motherhood, faced one of her toughest battles yet. The idea of losing custody of her son, especially after years of struggle to maintain a relationship with him, weighed heavily on her. Jenelle's bond with Jace has always been complicated. Jace was initially placed in the custody of Jenelle's mother, Barbara Evans, after Jenelle's turbulent early years as a teen mom. For much of Jace's life, he has lived with Barbara, which has caused significant tension between mother and daughter. While Jenelle has fought to regain full custody over the years, she has often been met with resistance from Barbara, who has remained steadfast in her desire to protect Jace. Despite the setbacks, Jenelle has never given up on her son. Over time, Jenelle and Jace have developed a relationship marked by both distance and love, and Jenelle has consistently expressed her desire to be a more present mother to him. The recent events surrounding the 911 call and Jace's temporary removal only strengthened her resolve to continue fighting for him. In the aftermath of the incident, Jenelle turned to social media to express her feelings and update her followers. While some criticized her for airing personal matters in such a public way, Jenelle's decision to communicate her journey with her followers was an important one. It allowed her to maintain a sense of agency in a situation where she felt powerless. In her posts, Jenelle thanked her supporters for their encouragement, and she vowed to make the necessary changes in her life to be a better mother to Jace and her other children. Reunited in Las Vegas, a moment of healing. After weeks of legal proceedings and the intense emotional turmoil that came with being separated from her son, Jenelle Evans was finally able to reunite with Jace. The reunion took place in Las Vegas, where Jenelle had been living with David. The images of their reunion were shared with Jenelle's followers, showing a tender moment between mother and son. The relief and joy on Jenelle's face were evident, and many fans celebrated this long-awaited reunion. For Jenelle, this moment was not just a personal triumph, but also a significant step in her journey toward healing. The emotional scars left by the 911 incident, the temporary separation from her son, and the public scrutiny would take time to mend. But for now, she was able to take comfort in knowing that her son was back with her, and they could begin rebuilding their relationship. The images from the reunion quickly made headlines, sparking a mix of reactions. Supporters praised Jenelle for her strength and determination, while critics remained skeptical of her ability to maintain a stable home environment. However, what was clear from the photos was that Jenelle and Jace shared a deep connection, and despite the challenges they had faced, there was hope for their future together. In interviews following the reunion, Jenelle spoke candidly about the emotional roller coaster she had been on. She acknowledged the mistakes she had made in the past, but expressed her commitment to being a better mother. For Jenelle, the reunion with Jace symbolized more than just a mother and son coming together after a difficult time. It represented a fresh start, a chance to build a healthier, more stable future for her children. Moving forward, Jenelle's path to healing and redemption. The road ahead for Jenelle is undoubtedly a challenging one. The events surrounding Jace's removal and the public fallout have highlighted the difficulties she faces as a mother, particularly as a reality star whose personal life is constantly under scrutiny. But, as with all of Jenelle's ups and downs, the future remains uncertain. Jenelle's fans, who have followed her journey since the early days of Teen Mom, remain divided in their support of her. Some see her as a relatable, resilient woman who has faced hardships and is striving to do better, while others believe she is incapable of providing the stability her children need. However,